So, friends, public speaking or overall speaking, but let us consider public speaking. Most of us, we don't have that coherence and cohesion. Listen carefully, two words I'm using, coherence and cohesion. When you're talking anything, there must be coherence and cohesion. What it means? In short, it means that when you're delivering any talk, your audience should be able to understand it very clearly and vividly. Today I will tell you, actually I will show you how actually, many of us say that, wow, your talk was very nice. I understood everything. I enjoyed it. Why they say? I'll tell you the reason behind this. They have coherence and cohesion. Coherence means separate points. Separate points. Your talk must be separated. Otherwise, our talk is all intermingled, all like one point into another point, and many times the audience isn't able to understand what he was talking about, nor what he is talking. All of you have experienced this? How many of you experienced this? Raise your hands. A person is speaking and you don't understand what he is talking about. There is no coherence. When you have coherence, 1, 2, 3, you can separate them. First point understood? Yes, understood. Second understood? Yes. Third understood? Yes. So, good speakers are very, very clear in their thought process. They know what exactly they want to convey the message. In their heads, they're very clear. But before they're clear in the head, you must be clear on the paper. If your thoughts are very clear on the paper, they become very clear in your head, and then you can articulate them in a very clear way. Coherence. Cohesion means what? Now, let us take point 1, 2, 3. In the point 1, all the points must be properly connected. I will explain you that. Very interesting, all of you. Okay. So, how to speak. I'll give a very simple way to start. Don't write. Look at me, all of you. Don't write. See here. First, greet. Simple it is. And then, what do you say? Your name. And I will actually demonstrate this. Here, I will go there and I will deliver a talk and check whether my talk is according to the points given here or not. And then you will realize that, wow, sir, it's so nice. I'm able to understand very nicely. But one more thing is there. These points are good, but if the knowledge is not there, then no one is going to help you out. Because knowledge is the king. Communication skill is the queen. If you don't have knowledge, what is the use? So I assume here that you have good knowledge. And the topic which I'm going to take is education system in India. Simple topic. Okay, so greet, your name, okay, and the topic name. Tell which topic you're going to speak about. As I said before, I will show you, don't worry about this. And also tell the time, how much time you're going to speak about. So I'm going to give this talk for the next 15 minutes, I'll be speaking on this topic. So the audience gets a clarity, okay, 15 minutes. And more important, this is guys. And stick to the time. Don't give that 15th August or 26th January guest long, never-ending talk. All of you experienced that? Those chief guests come and they literally torture you. So you have to be very careful about your time also. So for that, you should know what and how you're going to speak. Time. Greet, name, topic, time. Now, then tell about 3 points or whatever, 3 points. Today, I'm going to speak about, already here told, I'm going to cover 3 points here. Point 1, point 2, point 3. I have given you the topic, education system in India. So I'm going to speak about, first I'm going to speak about the theoretical nature of our education system. Then I'm going to speak about, most important part is neglected, communication skills is neglected. Then I will speak about mental health is neglected. Tell the audience, dear friends, today I'm going to speak about 3 important points that our education system is missing. First is our education system is number one. Second is, and third is mental health. So guys, let us start. And start with in this way. Let us begin with first point, that is theoretical nature of first point. This 1, 2, 3 points are separated now. This is called as coherence. 3 separate points. Now let us see cohesion. Cohesion means what? Now we are going to speak about theoretical nature of education system. So what is the mantra for cohesion? C-O-H-E-S-I-O-N, cohesion. Coherence, C-O-H-E-R-E-N-C-E, coherence and cohesion. Keep it in mind. This is, what is this? C-O-H-E, coherence. And now I will tell you cohesion, spelling of cohesion. Cohesion. Now I'll tell you how to have that cohesion. Cohesion means what? The points you are going to speak should be interconnected properly. This point. What is the mantra here? The mantra is point, example, or data, or story, point. What is the point you want to tell? Theoretical system. It's only theoretical. For that, you can give an example, data, or story. Again, point. Means what? Revise the point. Let me explain you this. So, let me begin with the first point, that is the theoretical nature of our education system, dear friends. Point. Our education system only focuses on journals, writing the journals, copying the journals, and submitting the journals, and giving the certificates. All these theoretical points that are theoretical notes that are given to us are outdated. In fact, they are Xerox copies of the previous year batch. They are just copied and submitted to the teachers. What we are learning nothing new here. The teacher knows that, the principal knows that, the system knows that, but it is just going on. Let me give you one example, dear friends. Now, I'll give my own example. Dear friends, I was doing my PhD thesis work, and I went to one person to take the printout of my PhD thesis. And he made me to wait for 5 minutes. Till then, he was printing project reports. Do you know what he said to me? Nothing. Same project report, only change the name and the certificate and date and birth date, that's all. These are the 10 project reports for 10 different students. Guys, that is what is happening with our education system. We are just copying the project reports and submitting it without adding any value in our skills, in our intelligence. Nothing is there. So friends, revise the points. So friends, the point is the theoretical system in India, the just theory is going to hamper the education and the development of that boy, that girl. Have you understood? This is cohesion. What is cohesion? Point. You can tell data, you can give data also, story also, and repeat the point. Why to repeat the point? Revision. Summary. People forget. Do you know, guys? 80% of the points you forget in 1 to 2 hours. And at the end, I'm going to give you a summary of entire talk. Now, the first point is over. So, again, let us begin again. So, now we have seen the theoretical nature of our education system. Now, let us move to, the second point, and that is the communication skills. Same thing, point, example, point, story, point. Story will not tell, I'll tell example here, I'm a communication skill trainer. So guys, let us move ahead to the second point, and that is the communication skill, dear friends. If our schools and colleges are sending the students in the corporate world without proper communication, it's like sending a soldier in the battlefield without proper training. And if a soldier goes there without proper training, what will happen? He will be brutally killed there. And the same thing is happening with our students. These students, dear friends, let me give you one example, guys. Example now. It is found that out of 100 students who are doing their BBA, BCA or BTech courses, out of 100, 2 to 3 are only good in communication skills. 95 to 96% of the students have no command over communication skills, no confidence, don't know how to face the interviews, don't know how to face the group discussions. All of you agree with this? Look at in your classrooms. Look at in your classrooms, guys. In your classroom, how many students are there? 70. How many good are good in communication skills? 10 to 15. So that is also too much. I don't know how true it is. Let us ask. Yes, Gauravi, in your class, how many students are there? 78. 78. How many are good in communication? I think 4 or 5. 4 or 5. So guys, again, it depends upon the college also. But overall, in general, 95% or 90% at least students are not good in communication skills. And here we need to work on. We need to work on communication skills. Students should be specially given a separate lecture for this, a special period, special class for this every day. So that these students, when they face interviews, group discussions, public talks, when they become leaders, when they become employees, they will have no problem communicating. Otherwise, dear friends, today you have seen that a student having a PhD degree isn't able to tell him about himself. A BTech student isn't able to answer the question, introduce yourself. And if these kind of students are going in the corporate world, they are going to be rejected at first. So dear friends, the point I want to tell is, the second weakness our education system has is communication skill, which needs to be addressed at the foremost. Let us move to the third point. See, I'm separating now. And the third point is, the most vital I think it should be at number 1, and that is the mental health of students. Friends, stress, competition, pressure from parents, addictions, mobile, pornography, all these is creating havoc on the students. And these students, they aren't able to handle this. How to handle it, that this complete future which is unknown to them. Uncertainty is there. And that's the reason why students aren't able to handle the pressure, the exam pressure. They commit suicide or they are addicted. They don't know how to control themselves watching the reels on Instagram and feeds and social media. Dear friends, are we creating just students having good academics, or are we creating students with mental strength? In fact, in our school, if you are failed, you are labeled as a failure. I believe that mental health is the most neglected area in our education system. Let me give you one example here. Dear friends, today, a graduate, a BE student or a BTech student who is passed out, and when he goes in the real world, the corporate world, where he has to face the stress, the deadlines, the competition, he isn't able to cope with that. I remember, dear friends, I was delivering a seminar. And after my seminar was over, one lady came to me and said that, "Sir, my son is working in a very reputed IT company in Pune. And now he's saying that I want to come home to Sangli." I was a chief guest in Maratha Samaj. There was one kind of program was there. And she said, "Sir, what is he going to do in Sangli? He's married now. I said, why he wants? He says that I don't want to work here. Office politics is there. Competition is there. My boss always scolds me. Now, these students, when they go in the corporate world, because corporate is ruthless. They're ruthless. School and colleges, everyone is there to comfort you, understand you, support you. But in the corporate, no, that's not going to happen. Guys, therefore, we need to work on the mental health. Usually colleges and all those, they just appoint one counselor for the namesake. He's given one room, one nameplate, he's displayed outside. Counselor, he is nowhere there. Some counselors, they say the students don't come to me because students have the taboo. How can I go to a counselor? What my friends will think, I'm crazy. So guys, this was the third important point I feel is that is the mental health. So guys, overall, in this today's session, I helped you to understand 3 points that we lack. That is the theoretical nature and not the practical nature of learning. Second point we discussed was the communication skill, which is very crucial. And third point, I believe is the most vital, is the mental health. So hope, dear friends, you enjoyed my talk. It was real nice talking to you. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Thank you. Okay, all of you got it? What I achieved coherence, 3 separate points. Cohesion I achieved with 1, 2, 3, 4 points. So, should I start? I will just start and you just see how I speak. Now, without this. Okay, now see, I'm not saying that by heart it, or as it is, not required. Good evening, dear friends. My name is Sandeep Patil. And today I'm going to speak about education system in India, where we need to work on. I'll speak for 15 minutes. And friends, I'm going to cover 3 vital points here, which I feel are very important. As an educationist, as a teacher, I feel like these points make a big difference. The first point I feel is our education system is theoretical based. Only theory, submission, and journal is there. Second, I believe, is lack of communication skill. We have never been given that opportunity to go on the stage and speak up. And third is mental health. We have never been told about what is mental health and how to work on your emotions and thoughts. So dear friends, let me start with the first one now. And that is the theoretical nature of our education system. Dear friends, how much money and time we spend on buying those journals and notes and copying the journals and submitting that? Do you remember? And the question is, where your journal end up? All the journals which you have written, where they end up? I think they end up somewhere in the strong room where all the journals are thrown there and they go nowhere. Nothing is there in that. Guys, I remember when I was a teacher myself, I was a lecturer in engineering college, and students used to copy journals for my subject also. I knew that they're copying the journals. I told my boss, my HOD also, that sir, they're copying the journals. The sir said, oh, what to do then? It's okay, fine. We also done the same thing. Guys, I told my students, you copy the journal, but I want you to visit one industry and see how actually it works. I was teaching metallurgy actually at that time, engineering subject. Go in the industry, how actually it works. Do that. Submit the report to me. That is the extra work I'm giving you. And friends, it really helped them a lot. They enjoyed going to the industry and how it works and how actually testing is done, how actually material is been designed and the criteria and the testing, everything is done there. And they told me, they submitted the report also. So guys, if we do that, if we can give them more practical exposure rather than the theoretical exposure, I think students can learn. It is said that, I always believe, it is said that if you show how to do it, I forget. If you do yourself, I can understand. But if you make me do myself, I will never forget. That is the most important thing. First point is, most important is, what? Theoretical based education should be stopped. Now let us move to the second point, dear friends. Why you are here? For communication skill. If your school had taken proper precaution and trained you properly for communication skills, you would not have come here. Every day I know hundreds of students are not selected in the interview. They have all the qualifications, skills needed. Knowledge is there, but they aren't able to express, articulate themselves in front of 2 or 3 people in the interview room. Forget the public speaking. If you aren't able to communicate confidently in front of 2 or 3 people, I have seen students crying, engineering students. When they go in the interview room, they cry, they just get stuck, frozen. I remember one student, this guy was rejected from 5 interviews. Do you remember Vivek, our old student? 5 interviews he was rejected. Very good academics. Everything was fine, but wasn't able to speak up. And he was having the degrees and MCA and all, and 7.9 and 9.2 pointers and all these things. You know, he came here and he was able to crack the interviews. First interview he cracked. First interview he faced, he cracked the first interview. And all of you know he came with sweets. Now guys, this is where we are lagging. 17, 18 years of education, but where is the communication? You aren't able to express that, you aren't able to convey that message. Whatever you have learned, you aren't able to express that in 15 minutes. 15 years you can't, you have taken education, but you can't explain that in 15 minutes. So guys, I believe that communication skills should be given utmost importance in our education system. It should not be like only the topper should be allowed to come on the stage and speak up. No, communication skill is right of every student. Now let us move to the third point, dear friends. And that is the mental health. Dear friends, I believe that out of these 3 points, this is the most important point, that is mental health and emotional strength. Let me give you my own example for this now. When I was a student in 7th standard, I still remember I wasn't able to handle the stress and the pressure. I did not know how to handle my emotions. I did not understand my thought process. I used to always get anxious, always anxious. I was an anxious student in my class. No teacher told me how to handle this. They taught me Newton's second law of motion, third law of motion, but they did not teach me how to handle my own emotion. 10th, same thing. In 12th, I suffered panic attacks. And I wasn't able to handle the pressure of the exam. God was kind, I could handle because of some books I read and I understood that. Dear friends, when the results are declared, what happens to the students? Most of the students are either depressed or commit suicide. And the reason behind this is our education system does not teach how to be mentally tougher and stronger. They leave it as it is. I mean, you can go and learn from people like me or go and have experiments and decide that. I think this is the biggest weakness of our education system is we never focus on mental toughness. If we can focus on mental toughness, we will make mentally tough, healthy and positive individuals. These individuals will be asset to the society. We will have individuals who are self-constrained. Rape cases will not be there. Addictions will not be there. Fights will not be there. All of you have seen kids fighting for small reasons and kill each other in US, you have seen that. So, just some colleges, just as a formality, just have some, okay, have counselor because the committee is going to come and see. So there is one room, counseling room. Does it work actually? I think you have a counseling room in your college. Counselor is there?
We never seen.
You've never seen. So that is what they believe in. I mean, they believe that counseling and all not required. Teacher will tell you what are your pointers, why they are less, but they will never ask you why it is less. What is your problem? What you're going through? Do you have some disturbances in home? Do you have any stress, any anxiety problem? No. Because unfortunately the teacher is also depressed and stressed. Because he is also part of education system. So he also isn't able to understand this. So dear friends, I believe that if our education system focuses on mental health also, I think we don't need psychiatrists and psychologists. And we will have a mentally strong country, dear friends. So guys, in short, I believe that 3 points are very crucial. First is theoretical method should convert into practical. Second is communication skills should be given utmost importance, and third is the mental health. I hope, dear friends, you understood. And I hope that our education minister is listening to this. I have no problems. Even if you don't come to my institute, I have no problems. But these things should be developed in schools. Thanks a lot for listening, my dear friends. Hope you enjoy. Thank you. I finished in 15 minutes. Right, guys? So this is actually how it works. Please now note it down, the points.